To trade or not to trade? That is the question. It is easy to trade pieces when we gain a more valuable piece from the trade, such as trading a rook for a queen. But how do we know when it is good or bad to trade equal value pieces, such as a pawn for a pawn or a rook for a rook? Let's take a look at a few examples to find out. In this position, it is white to move. Should white trade rooks by trading black's rook on d8? A useful idea to remember when making a decision to capture is to take is a mistake unless it makes your position better or your opponent's position worse. After rook takes d8, rook takes d8. Did capturing black's rook make white's position better? No. White gave up the developed rook on d1 and activated black's rook on a8. Notice black now controls the open d file. White's remaining rook is passively placed on a1. Taking was a mistake as it made white's position worse and improved black's position. Since taking was a mistake, a better idea was to improve the position by playing rook a to c1, improving white's least active piece. Let's look at a slightly different situation. Black plays rook f to e8, attacking the rook on e2 and offering a trade on the e-file. Does trading black's rook make white's position better or worse? As we saw in the last example, giving your opponent control of an important file is not a great idea. How can white increase the pressure on the e-file and threaten a favorable trade? That's right, rook a to e1, supporting the rook on e2 and adding a second attacker against the rook on e8. Black can either trade with rook takes e2 or move to the side. Either way, white gains control of the e-file. After rook e to d8, white can use the e-file to begin attacking targets with rook e7, attacking both f7 and a7 at the same time. Notice if black plays rook to d2, threatening the pawn on a2, white simply plays rook takes a7, winning black's a7 pawn and protecting the pawn on a2. In this position, black wants to castle kingside, but white's bishop on a3 controls the f8 square, preventing black from castling. Notice that black can capture the bishop on a3 with the knight. Should black trade? Absolutely. After knight takes a3, black trades white's annoying bishop, allowing black to improve the position on the next turn by castling. Notice that after white recaptures the knight, with knight takes a3, white's knight finds itself passively placed on the edge of the board. With this trade, black's position improved and made white's position worse. Finally, let's look at an opening example out of the French defense. After e4, e6, this is known as the French defense, d4, and d5, black attacks white's pawn on e4. White has the choice to capture black's pawn on d5. Should white make this trade? Although it is an even trade of pawn for pawn, notice that after e takes d5, black's light-squared bishop that was blocked enjoys the opened h3 to c8 diagonal, so black's position has slightly improved, while white has not gained any clear advantage by trading. For this reason, the move knight to c3, developing a piece, protecting the pawn on e4, and adding pressure to d5 is a more popular option. White can also play e5, pushing the pawn forward and gaining space without trading material. Now that we've studied the pros and cons of trading, it's your turn to practice deciding to trade or not to trade.